of karma. Karma is not unique to India. It is also in Christianity and other religions. The quotation, as you sow, so shall you reap, sums up the theory of karma in a single sentence. Whatever is the seed will determine the fruit. Theory of karma or laws of action and reaction are applicable in the physical world, in the emotional world, and the intellectual world. It is not applicable in the spiritual world. What does karma mean? Karma does not mean action. Karma means a choice, a selection. Every human has freedom of choice. The birds and the animals, they don't. A tiger one day cannot decide, I am going to eat some grass, not meat today. Animal doesn't have that choice. Human does. You can eat some grass today, vegetables, fruits, and tomorrow you can eat meat. Your entire system is designed as such. This argument about vegetarian versus non-vegetarian is complete humbug. It is the preacher's way of controlling you. There is a dentist sitting in the congregation. You can ask him that the human teeth are capable of eating vegetables and meat, because eating meat you require sharp teeth. So some of your teeth are designed exactly for that. If you look at the mouth of a whale, there are no flat teeth there. Every single one of them is sharp. Hence they cannot eat grass. Animals do not have a choice. Birds do not have a choice. Humans have choice over everything. No exception to this rule. So long as the human is operating in physical, emotional, or intellectual domain. Physically, you hit something, you are going to get the hurt back. Emotionally, you say something wrong, you are going to get the response back. Intellectually, you create a wrong argument, you are going to get the reaction back. The thing that complicates this phenomena is the confusion about thy will be done and this is my choice. What is that distinction? Where that boundary line is? How do you separate his will from your will? How do you separate that? That's what causes all kinds of confusion. People continuously shift back and forth. This is God's will. That's what's supposed to happen. That's why it happened. I have no role in it. I am a victim. I must accept it because it is God's will. God's will operate at the spiritual level. At the physical level, you have the total freedom. The hostess made some tea, you have a choice whether you want to drink it or not. God is not going to come down and tell you, you better be respectful to the hostess. But the question still remains. What is His will? And where does my will start? And the answer is, and you're going to love this, everything that you do is according to His will. And you're going to flip. You say, hold it right there. If everything is according to His will, where's my will? You just said I have the free will. Now you are making a blanket statement and saying everything is under His will. Think of a plate in which there are 5 marbles of different colors. And picking a color has a consequence that has been predefined. Now you are asked to, you have a free will to pick any marble. So whatever marble you pick, you own the consequence of that, which is predetermined. So if the consequence is controlled by Him, you only have the freedom of choice. You cannot say, I am going to pick this marble, but its consequences should be this, not that. So whose will is operating here? Both. Your will is operating because you are free to choose the marble. And His will is operating because all consequences are controlled by Him. There is no contradiction in this. Absolutely none. The people who say, I don't understand. On one hand, God does everything. On the other hand, I have this freedom. This is very confusing. You are just watching the game of soccer. The designer of the game has set certain rules. Here is the D line. If you kick from here, this is the penalty. If you kick from there, it is this. If you trip somebody, it's a foul. Can a player of soccer tell the referee, I am not going to go do the goal on the opposite side. Actually, I am going to kick right in my own goal. Give me the point. I say, no, you can't change the rule of the game. The rule of the game says, take it to the other side and kick into that goal post. But you do have a freedom to be a good player, a foul player, a bad player, a fast player, a slow player. You have all that freedom. But you're going to play the game according to the rules predefined. And you break any rule, there is a consequence. So whose will is operating? Is it the designer of the game's will or the player's will? The answer is both. The boundaries have been defined. You have been told. The consequence of choice is not controlled by you. That's the rule of the game. But you can play the game as you like, as you wish. The entire Gita is founded on that single premise. Arjuna, you cannot decide who dies by your arrows and who lives. Your training and your choice is to be a warrior. You just go and fight. How can you say, my arrow is killing so and so? That person just might get slightly wounded and get out of the action. That person might die right on the spot. The arrow might miss the target completely. These are all possibilities. That's the essence of Bhagavad Gita in a single statement. The consequences are not controlled by the actor. Only the choices are controlled by the actor. Make a choice and then forget about it. Whatever he wants will be done. The choice of Jesus not to retract his statements was his. The consequence wasn't. Consequence of going on the cross wasn't his. Because he knew if I don't retract, that's a consequence. And he willingly went and made that choice. Jesus didn't need to actually die at all. Why go to Jerusalem? Stay in Nazareth. Keep on preaching. Who told him? The seat of power is in Jerusalem. A Roman king is sitting right there. Jews priest is sitting right there. Both power bases, religious as well as political power bases, are right in Jerusalem, and he comes right in the middle of it. None of his disciples told him. The people did not invite him from Jerusalem. Can you blame Romans for crucifying him? You can't. Consequence of your choice is all yours. And you have to accept it. That is why his acceptance by the statement, thy will be done. That's what he's doing. He's accepting. If this is the consequence. When he's saying, oh Father, why have you forsaken me? What was he expecting? That some miracle should happen? All Romans should get blind or hit with a lightning so that they can see they are doing something wrong? But that didn't happen. His plan was different than Jesus' plan. Jesus wanted to be glorified there and then. His plan was, you will be glorified, but not now, but afterwards. Those are the consequences of the choices. Now, why does this happen only in 3 dimensions and not in the 4th? Because in the 3 dimensions, the law of duality exists. You need 2, positive and negative. In the spiritual dimension, there is only 1. That's it. There is no duality there. Because there is no duality when you are living in a spiritual environment, the laws of karma doesn't apply to you. Anybody who wants to be free themselves of the consequences of the choice, become mystic now. Start living the life as a mystic, as a spiritualist. Every choice must be mystical, spiritual. The law of karma, you are completely freed. It will not touch you. Now wait a minute. If as a mystic I am making a choice, as Sarmad did, the Sufi saint, he got killed. He was butchered alive by making a mystical statement. That's all he did. Isn't this a contradiction now? Why have all the Sufis been mercilessly butchered over the history of Islam? What was their fault? Well, their fault was they were operating in the physical world, talking of the spiritual world. Hence, the physical world is destroyed. A natural consequence of the choice. If you are going to make these kind of statements, you cannot exist in the physical dimension. You need to get out. We have now one choice. We don't have the choice of Sarmad. But we do have a choice of a spiritualist. And what is the choice of a spiritualist? Whatever happens, you accept the responsibility. No, wait a minute, I didn't do anything. It's a very common statement. I have never hurt anybody. I have never thought bad about anybody. Why am I being punished? That is a false belief. Because if there is an unwanted reaction coming toward you, that choice was made by you. That was a seed planted whose fruit is just ripening now. The man's mind will revolt and say, look, I did not choose my parents. And the answer is, you are wrong about that. You did choose your parents. But how and when could you choose the parents? Before you were born. Isn't it? That choice was made prior to you adopting a physical body. But you did choose your parents, your siblings, all of you chose to be here today. There's no accidents in life. No, wait a minute. How long ago did I make that choice? You made that choice explicitly that I need a reminder about my spirituality at this stage of my life. And I need that reminder from him. And I made that same choice, said, if they need me, I'll be there. So we are not sitting here just coincidentally. There is no coincidence in life. There are no accidents in life, even though what we call accident. I had an accident on the way today. Somebody came and hit me. That is no accident. There is a cause and effect relationship behind that transaction also. You are meeting somebody, you are getting introduced to somebody, and you are resolving a decision that was made way prior. This life is not haphazard. It is very well designed game. A very well designed play. It is a drama. What Bhagavad Gita calls Rasa Leela. You know what we have done? We have called the Rasa Leela when he took the clothes off. The bathing woman said, well, he's playing with them. No. He's playing with every one of us right now. And what is his game? With the humanity. His game is a hide and seek. The very first game a child learns from the mother. Right? A young child. And mother says, peekaboo, and the child giggles. What is the mother doing? Playing hide and seek. Just as the first game the mother plays with the child of hide and seek, Father of us all is hiding right in us and saying, find me. Where are you? I'm right inside you. I'm close. You can find me. How? Just stop looking for me on the outside. Get in the inside and you'll find me. If you don't believe me, you can ask any mystic. When they found me inside. Because the outer senses cannot see me. Only the inner senses can see me. But again, freedom of choice. Do you want to run outside? Freedom of choice. If you keep running outside, you are not going to find me. That's a consequence. You cannot dictate to me and say, I am going to go to Rome and visit a Pope. You better be there. Or I am going to go Badrinath and you better be there. It's not going to happen. To find me, you need to go inside. Majority of the people say this is all humbug. He has given me the body, he has given me the senses to enjoy the body, and that's what I'm going to do. There's only one life. Wrong. There is not only one life. Any person who believes in only one life, please explain. Why am a man and she a woman? Tell me. Who decided and based on what criteria that I will be in a man's body and she will be in a woman's body? Tell me. If you can't explain, I will explain. I made that choice prior to adopting a body who I want to be. You made that choice. Every action is there, every choice is there for you to grow spiritually. You have a karmic debt that need to be paid off. That debt is presented to you when the right time comes. For argument's sake, when there was a right time, he presented him to you and you to him. You need to work out a few things and learn and grow. Same with everybody. When the right time came, Tarane came in contact with Kurish and decided to be husband and wife. That was no accident. It was a conscientious choice on both parts. And they said, yeah, we are going to work out and grow with this. Now you know, growing is not a painless process. Ask any child. Even teething is not painless. Any growth. Ask any teenager. The world doesn't make sense. The only way the teenager goes through the entire adolescent life is in total confusion and total revolt. Why? Because it's hurting. It's hurting inside. That makes sense. The body is saying one thing, the brain is saying one thing, society is saying one thing, the parents are saying one thing, and nothing match. Growing is painful. But we have a freedom of choice. You don't want to learn this lesson now? Okay, postpone it. You are not getting away from it, you're just postponing it. That is what we call divorce. Hey, this lesson is too painful. I am not learning it. How do we know if we are done with each other? Nature will remove one of us out of the picture. This transaction has been completed, it's done. They don't need each other. One way or the other, one or the other will be removed by natural laws. Watch your choices. You are, wherever you are, for a specific choice that you made yourself in the past. And if that choice turns out to be difficult or painful, it is all the more reason to learn. Well, wait a minute. What am I learning here? He or she always puts me down. What am I learning? Aha! You are learning tolerance. You are learning forgiveness. You are learning how to transcend somebody's negative energy and not react. You are learning patience with the other. Oh, come on. It is too much. Okay. You have a freedom of choice. Run away. Remember, he will present the same choice again. Because the karmic debt must be paid. Whatever you need to learn from him, you must learn. That's why you are here together. Whatever he needs to learn from you, he must learn. That's why you are together. And if you break that contract, you create another transaction to be presented to you once again. Breaking the karmic debt transaction, the consequence, you will be together again to work this thing out. And you can continue doing this ad nauseum. God is not going anywhere, right? He is not in any hurry that you must complete your transaction. Okay. You want another life? You'll be given another life. A husband and wife were having argument and the wife says, why are you fighting with me? We are going to be together for 7 lives. And he said, yeah, I just found out this is my 7th life. No more with you. If it is your 7th life, you need to make sure that all transactions have been taken care of, so that you are not repeating the same cycle. So karma is the choice. You do have the freedom of choice, including the refusal to learn, refusal to grow, refusal to change. Because in order for you to learn something, don't you need the opposite force present? How would you otherwise learn? If I want to be a doctor, don't I need the patients? How will I be a doctor if there is no patient? Somebody has to fall sick. If I'm going to be an attorney, somebody has to commit a crime. Right? If I'm going to be a doctor, somebody needs to have a toothache. How otherwise you will learn? The nature's job is to present those choices to you when the right time comes. He did not present it to you, Quraysh, when you were 10 years old, right? He did not. The time has not yet come. But as a 10 years old, you are being presented the hammer of your brothers and your fathers and your sisters. You better stay straight on the line. We are not going to let you divert. And who are you talking with and who are you telephoning, right? Those are the only choices presented to you. Deal with these. So the right choice comes to us when that time is due. The nature opens the book for us and say, this is what this soul is now ready for. Present the choice. You have the freedom to take the choice or refuse the choice. But nature will not let you off the hook. If you don't want to deal with this type of a persona, this lifetime, this type of a persona will be presented to you again. You will have to deal. Not making a choice is not available to us. You have to make a choice. And you might say, well, wait a minute. I am not making any choice. I am just sitting here. You know what he says? That is also a choice. I am not deciding anything is also a choice. Not making a choice isn't available. You have to make a choice. Inaction is also a choice, just as action is a choice. So you can take this to your heart. You are going to be playing the game of life as long as you are on this planet. And as the time moves on, you will be presented with a different type of choices. I remember way back, a friend of mine who was quite elderly to me and we always respected him as a big brother. He married his both of the children off, the daughter and the son. And now husband and wife are alone. And he called me and said, "Just you have some time for me?" I said, "Sure, bhai sahab, come on. How can I help you?" He said, "Look, I have always called my wife through my children. Go tell your mom. I don't know how to call her now because the children are not in the house. I don't know what to say to her. And neither did she talk to me directly. She returned the child back with the message. And she is having the same problem because, hello, honey, dear, none of those things don't exist in our vocabulary. So I said, "Bhai sahab, start learning a new language now. How to talk to your wife in a loving and caring way. Think you are just newly married and the children are not there. It wasn't there then. They are not there now. Learn a new language. Otherwise, the rest of the old age is going to be very painful." So any one of you who have not yet learned to talk to the wife, better start now because that time is coming. You'll be forced to talk to each other. Consequences of the choices made. The choice was made 25 years ago. Don't address the wife directly, talk through the children. The consequences is coming now, once the children are gone. Taking care of each other, being sport for each other. That training needs to start now, not when you need it. Theory of karma says, make your choices in such a way that you get closer to him. That's the only test. How do we make a right choice? Is this choice getting you closer to him? If it's not, it's the wrong choice. Pure and simple. Whether that choice is about money, health, social, cultural, anything, philosophical, make that choice. When we make the choice to be in a conflict with each other, what is the consequence? Is it taking you closer to him or away from him? The conflict can never get you closer to him. Only love can. Are you being loving when you are actually judging each other and arguing with each other and fighting with each other and trying to justify, I am right, you are wrong? Are we getting closer to Him? If we are disrespecting anybody, male or female, how are we going to get closer to Him? Because disrespecting the other where he is hiding is disrespecting Him. Have you ever thought about that? If God is in everyone, right? And you disrespect your wife, are you disrespecting God? God is in His heart too. That can't bring you closer to God. You can't fool Him. I'm respecting you, but she's just a woman. Any religion that teaches this, propagates this, is the false religion. It's a false system. Disrespect for each other is absolutely a no-no. That's a wrong choice, no matter who makes it. If the husband tells the wife, respect me, fine, respect you and the God in you. What about the other way around? Oh, but I'm a man, you are a woman. That's different. No, it isn't. For God, it is not different. For the society, it may be. For the culture, it may be. For Him, you're both equal. Make the choice with one reminder to yourself. Is this getting me closer to Him? Well, what if somebody abuses that? Also, you're going to become like the other. If somebody abuses and you abuses right back, how are you two different? Or you can take undue advantage of me. Who's saying that? Ego is shouting at the top of its voice, I am somebody, you cannot disrespect me. So, is it okay for you if I start calling you egotistical? No. That's a very bad word, egotistical. I'm not egotistical. Think again. The one inside which is saying, respect me, is the ego hiding inside you. Respect cannot be demanded. It can only be commanded. It cannot be given. It can only be earned. So make a choice to earn that. So to sum it up, theory of karma, don't confuse it with action. Theory of karma is multiple choices, and which choice you make, whatever choice you make, be ready for its corresponding consequences. And you cannot argue, it's the same choice I made, it's the same choice she made, how come she is richer and I am poorer? You don't control that. He does. Which is a very common thing. Somebody steals something, somebody gets away, the other gets caught, and you say, wait a minute. I'm a thief, he's a thief, how come? I am in the jail and he is outside. Well, did you not know that that's one of the possible consequences? Being a thief, the consequences are you may get caught, you may not get caught. If you get caught, you may be punished, you may not be punished. They are already there, it is written. You already know that. So why are you complaining? You got God. That's one of the choices, consequences. Accept all the consequences of your actions. That will help you to grow spiritually. So talking of choices, one of the prime choices we make is to find our partner in life. So long as the choice is based on spirituality, you cannot go wrong. What does that mean? Understand the purpose of life. The people who say, well, I don't know why I'm here. What is the purpose of my life? The purpose of the life is to get out of the circle of life. Get out of the circle of karma, action and reaction, duality. Get to the dimension which is one-sided. And that dimension belongs to him. So, if you find a partner who is willing to work with you to get to him, and you are willing to work with him or her to get to him, you found your partner. And if you are choosing the partner only to produce children, then you are on a very, very wrong track, because we know today you don't need marriage, you don't even need a man to produce children. Today's science allows you to have children without the man at all. Reproduction is not the purpose of marriage. Economic partnership is not the purpose of marriage. Physical company is not the reason for marriage. The reason for marriage is two types of energies, feminine and masculine, supporting each other to get to him, to find him, to discover him from inside. When my blinder comes on, my partner wakes me up and says, drop this tunnel vision so that you can see bigger. And when her tunnel vision starts bothering, I would help. Because we are committed to help each other, then that cannot be taken as a criticism or a judgment, right? If you become emotional about your children, and Courage says, drop this attachment. They are grown up now, let them fly. Is he judging you as a mother? He is helping you to free yourself of the bondage of attachment. And you have already promised, and he has promised, that we are going to help each other to get to him. If you change your life and start living like that even today, I guarantee everyone sitting here, there will never be argument in your house. It will become heavenly right away. And it's not a slow process. It's not evolution. It is a revolution. Revolution just happens in a moment. Yesterday the people were very quiet. Today they are all out on the street. What has happened? Revolution has happened. Evolution means today 2 came and tomorrow 4 will come, the day after 10 will come. That's evolution. But that's not how the changes happen. Changes happen with revolution. In an instant, you just make up your mind. You say, from today onward, from this moment, let's change the foundation of our companionship. Whether people see us as husband and wife does not matter. How many fights we have had does not matter. The past is completely gone. We are not going to drag it along. Today we make a commitment. You help me to grow spiritually, I help you to grow spiritually. When I point out, you don't take any offense. When you point out, I don't take any offense. The life changes. Sudden change. And that's the only way to change. Changes cannot happen. The very first dimension is the physical dimension. So let's look at the physical dimension. This table exists in the physical dimension. So what are the properties of the table? If you tell this table, would you please bend this corner a little bit so that I can bring my chair closer, and say, I need my space. Okay, accommodate a little bit. No. Physical dimension does not allow the change. And the one who refuses to change is very scary to live with. You know why? When does a human stop changing completely? When he's dead. How long you can sit with a dead person? A unchanging mindset reminds us internally of death. That's why spending the life with a stubborn person is very difficult. Because every time that person freezes, you remember the death. When people start living in the physical dimension, they freeze in time. No change. And how they justify? I have some principles. They are uncompromisable. A very principled person is a stubborn person. That's how they define it. They hide behind these words. And one more thing that's very, very important for the person living in a physical dimension is when they get in the world of religion, they are completely selfish. It does not matter to them how they serve their own purpose. It doesn't matter to them. They just want their purpose to be done. What is in it for me is their motto. So if somebody has been going to a temple all his life and he tells you, I have been praying for so long, nothing has happened, and you say, why are you doing that? Why don't you go to that grave and light a lamp? You say, fine. I'll go and light a lamp. Doesn't matter to me. If my desire is fulfilled, in the animal world, fish is like that. That's the behavior of fish. Fish is concerned with the water. It doesn't care whether it comes from the ocean, a river, a gutter, it doesn't matter. I just need the water. Fish lives in the physical dimension 100% of the time. That is why it is so easy to catch and kill fish. How do we catch him? Take a little hook, put a little meat, throw into the water. She doesn't care. Just goes for the meat. Why? That is what is my purpose, myself. That's it. I don't care about anything else. That's how they are taught. A person in the religion world will do anything and everybody, and it doesn't matter. You send them to a Jewish temple, a Christian church, a Sikh Gurdwara, a Muslim mosque, they don't care. Is my purpose being fulfilled or not? If it's getting fulfilled, I have no other principles. They are the least principled people and they hide behind, we have some principles. What is that principle? Me, me, me. Never thinking of the other. Physical dimension would not ever think of the other. Never. They would not offer you any help. They would not volunteer for anything unless they get a reward. I volunteer, somebody makes me a leader because so now I'm ready to volunteer. So this is the level 1 existence for a human. When we come to this world, we are the most physical dependent being in the entire universe. Think about it. What does the fetus think? Does the fetus think about the body of the mother? Or the bloodstreams, or sickness? No. Fetus is a vulture that will feed itself on at the cost of the mother's body. And it continues doing that. All the way till that child becomes conscious of itself and the mother started training. Until that it is purely physical dimension. We can all see within ourselves how much of our life is spent behaving like a physical being. If we want to continue living like that, it's our choice. We can be vultures on the society. It's our choice. God doesn't stop us. He doesn't want us to evolve if we don't want to evolve. So that's the first level. Pro and cons is very simple. physical level assures your survival. And the con is it makes you a parasite. Choice is ours. Do we want to be parasites or do we want to evolve? So with that, I want to thank you all for coming. If anything I said offended or hurt any sensitivities, I apologize for this. That's my ego and my arrogance. And if anything touched you, that is a message from the beyond for you tonight. Save it. It might help you.